Hello and welcome back to Conquest Dark. So, I've been playing quite a lot of this game. Nothing too crazy, I have other things to do, but anytime I have a little bit of spare moments, I'm gonna jump in and do a little bit of a run. And I've unlocked a new class. I've unlocked a bunch of extra insight into how the game works, and I just wanted to show you this new build that I've come up with here. And it's mostly using lunar damage. Now, this obviously can be refined dependent on what you personally prefer to play as, like for example, which class you prefer to play as and everything, but I'm really liking playing as the Thief right now, and I'm not sure whether that's because it's got inherent dodge or anything like that, but look at the build right now. Look at what I am currently capable of doing. I am literally able to generate energy extremely quickly because I am using, I'm using dual swords. The reason why I'm using dual swords is because it has the opportunity to cleave. And anytime you cleave, you have, indeed, more clearing potential, which is exactly what you want. So I'm basically just going for a rare items build at this moment in time because this is basically going to provide me with some insane stuff. Like, for example, look at this. This literally just gives me a 30% all damage increase if we want to do that. We could also go with this, Bandit Gloves, which would allow us to increase the chance to stun with primal damage, which is also one of the main reasons why I actually really like playing with the Thief, because it does have this, which is called Incapacitate. And this is extremely powerful against bosses, just so you know. Anyway, we're going to go for Stalker's Wraps +1, because that's going to increase our overall damage. I'm going to try to kill these. I highly doubt I'm going to be able to. This is just one of those random events that comes up, and I'm not going to be able to do this almost 100%. I'm just going to leave it. Just going to leave it for now. And you may be wondering, okay, how did I teleport right there? Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, there is a teleport movement ability with lunar spells, and this is insanely strong. Because what it's going to do is it allows you to teleport, and it also regenerates 50% of your maximum barrier. Yes. And if you choose lunar as your specialization when you first begin the run, you know what that's going to do? That's going to provide you with plus 100% barrier already. So you can see where this is going. Basically, I have a damage absorb shield that is pretty easy to break, but it provides you that small little bit of extra safety just in case you get murdered without really understanding how that happened, and it's going to save you a lot of HP in the long run. But apart from that, we are able to completely clear enemies out of our way because we have this AoE thing called Freezing Vortex, which is this swirling mass of cold energy around us, and it is incredible. Massive damage. Maybe even not massive damage. I don't even know whether it's massive damage, but it's doing every 0.25 seconds it applies freeze. And the amount of freeze applies scales with chance to freeze with lunar damage stat. For a freeze applied, slower to elites and so on and so forth. So obviously that's a bit of an issue. Maybe it's not so good, but for me personally, freezing enemies is extremely impactful because that allows you to indeed actually murder things without having to worry about getting murdered yourself. So I'm going to be very careful here. This unfortunate individual is doing a pretty sizable amount of damage to me. I would like to try and stun him if I can. Unfortunately, he is murdering me instead. Yeah, this is now the problem with me not taking the extra stun. Usually in previous runs, I've gone for stun percentage chance much more. And in this one, I decided against it. And I think I probably made a mistake on that. Yeah, I think I probably made a mistake on that, but it's okay, it's okay. We're probably going to be fine. I just have to utilize my movement ability and try to maximize the amount of barrier I have and just hit him every so often. There we go, he's stunned right now. Okay, that was a very short stun, unfortunately. Would have been really nice if we could have stunned him for a little bit longer. But again, I don't have any additional primal damage. If I had other primal damage, like I've actually had very good success playing with Savage Upbringing as well. Savage Upbringing is another thing that basically provides you access to the barbarian spells and abilities as the thief. And basically what that means is that pretty much every single spell you have, because obviously it's primal damage, has the ability to stun. And if you think about that, and you think about how crazy, amazingly powerful that can be, yeah. But I wanted to show you the Lunar damage build in this particular video, and well, you could see here that I am obviously dying, because I haven't actually done this level before, but the fact is, it feels very, very powerful, and I'm sure there are other things that you can do that will potentially be better. I'm just going to continue upgrading that rune, thank you very much. This is a passive ability here. I don't know whether that's actually going to do anything, so I'm just going to increase my Lunar damage in general, and we're going to increase our critical hit damage even further. Basically, critical hit damage is exactly what I'm wanting to do almost every single time I can, unless we have this, which allows me to increase my primary attack ability damage by 150%, 200% total, which means that my dual swords are going to be inflicting so much damage. And you can see here, look at this. These spiders are so incredibly strong right now, and the reason why they're strong is because I'm actually playing on Corruption 2 difficulty. Just bear that in mind. I'm going to show you exactly what that means after this, because I don't think I showed you in the previous episode, previous video, whatever you want to call it. And in general, it is indeed very, very harsh when you get to tier 3, because that means that every single enemy has 150% or maybe even 300% additional HP. I can't remember the calculation at the moment, but this is the reason why all these enemies are taking a significant amount of time to kill, because of course they have massive amounts, you know, they have massive amounts of HP, so it's very, very difficult for us, but it's okay. It's fine. You know, we're gonna be alright here, and all I need to do is basically just continue murdering as much as possible. You can see here that obviously the boss gave me some pause for thought, definitely caused me to have some problems, but these fellows, no, not so much, right? These fellows are actually dying really, really slowly, but they are still dying, and actually I'm feeling pretty safe, you know? I'm feeling pretty safe right now, so I don't think we really need to worry too much about it, but the fact is they have a lot of HP. If I wasn't playing with Corruption 2, I think I probably would have been able to complete this level, but I am gonna die. I just want you to know that. I am going to die. There is no way around it. It is just a fact at this point. It is just a fact, because I'm not gonna have enough damage to burst through all of these, unfortunately, even though I might want to. Maybe? I highly doubt it, but I am gaining HP back, surprisingly enough, because we are getting healing spirits and so on and so forth, so I guess that's kind of nice. Let's go for that reduced bleed rate, even though that's not really going to do much. There are entire builds surrounding reduced bleed rate, but I personally prefer a build that just makes it impossible for you to have any problems with losing HP to begin with, you know what I mean? I think that's personally a much more ideal situation, scenario, whatever you want to say. Let's go for Incapacitate level 2. I think that sounds pretty cool. That means that every single time we hit with our dual swords, we have a 15% chance to stun enemies. And so, obviously, because we are using Alacrity, which is another one of those wonderful thief perks, it basically makes it so that you stun enemies extremely, extremely quickly, especially bosses. Bosses, you're going to be able to stun those very, very fast. And indeed, you could potentially stun them so much that they won't even have the opportunity to do anything. Now, here's the Broodmother. This is indeed something I've never done. I've never actually fought her before, so this is going to be interesting. I highly doubt I'm even going to be able to do this, actually. Because she is absolutely just spawning every single thing she can on top of me right now, which is okay. I am actually feeling pretty good about this right now, because I am just circling around her, and it does feel like I might have a small chance of achieving victory. I highly doubt it, to be honest. I mean, look, I've got to go through 8 health bars, which is looking pretty harsh right now, especially considering there are so many enemies around us. Because you are consistently attacked by these small enemies. She is actually freezing right now, though, which is quite funny. There we go. We're taking some damage now. Let me just teleport just to give me some barrier. Unfortunately, I didn't take any additional charges of my teleport ability, so we are going to suffer a little bit at, you know, because of that. But we might be okay if I can just stay in range. Maybe? Maybe. It's looking pretty good. We're actually burning through her quite fast right now. And my barrier is still fine. Yeah, and this is what I wanted to show you, you see, because this immediately stood out to me as an extremely powerful build just purely because of the ability to generate barrier. The ability to generate barrier is so incredibly strong. Because you can see right here, you know, I would have lost a lot more HP over time if I didn't have that. And look at this. And look, this is an amazing rune. Look at it. Plus 75% damage to stunned. In other words, every single time you stun someone, you're going to be doing 75% additional damage to them. I cannot say how good that actually is. That is going to be insanely strong. Anyway, enemies are probably, I don't know, we might be able to survive the next 2 minutes. What do you think? Ah, yes, and I almost forgot to mention, we also have Frostfall here. This is your main power ability, which is the main thing you're seeing pop up on the screen with all the numbers and stuff like that. That's basically what you're seeing right now. And it basically just spawns 5 projectiles on the screen and does lunar damage to them. It's random, by the way, where they hit. So it's not targeted on the opponent or anything like that. So it is a little bit unreliable, shall we say, in sort of like the first, you know, couple of stages of a level. But I mean, you've seen exactly what's happened here. You know, you saw basically almost the entire level. The initial tiers of the level were not difficult at all. This, however, is of course me dead. Yes. There you go. And indeed, look at how much we got. And I unlocked a Frost Moon pendant there. We got extended rituals. We got so much stuff. Primal Roar. Primal Roar. What? Wait a minute. Let out a devastating roar that shatters the skulls of nearby enemies, dealing this much primal damage. And you heal 5% of your maximum health for each enemy hit. That sounds amazing. Oh yeah, that sounds absolutely insane. Okay, yeah, well, there you go. I did the Chasm of Fallen Heroes. That was the first time I was doing that, by the way. And these are the obelisks that I was talking to you about before, and basically what they do is they provide you with some bonuses with a caveat. The caveat being that the enemies do more damage, and as you can see, they have increased health per tier. So when you first start off, they have 50% additional HP. Then when you go to tier 2, they have 100%, then tier 3, 150%. So I was correct earlier when I said that. And then as a positive benefit, you gain 100% increased faction experience, as well as 50% increased Shattered Dark Ritual experience. Now, I actually don't know what that means. I don't know what Shattered Dark Ritual means or anything like that. But as you can see, my Thieves Guild faction experience right now is literally at level 13. Now, before I went in to the Chasm of Fallen Heroes, I think my faction level was 9. So I have a significant increase from that, which is actually crazy. So I am loving the Luna build. I think the Luna build is very, very strong. You can even get an Ice Shard here, which is indeed another ability that you can use. I also have Divine Purge as well, which is another thing. I still haven't unlocked that other class that I wanted to, by the way, because I'm just not able to do the consecrated, whatever it's called. The consecrated area. What is it called? Desecrated. That's it. Desecrated grounds. I'm not able to do desecrated ground for some reason. I don't know why, but I always suck at it super, super badly. Anyway, I think maybe what would be cool is if we try... we might want to go with something else. We might want to try to... I could do more damage with this if I wanted to, or we could go... Can I actually do something with the runes? No, I cannot. Okay, lay frost traps. That sounds really good. Okay, you know what? Let's do a primal roar build, shall we? Shall we try a primal roar build? I think that sounds pretty cool. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna increase this by a small amount. So basically what I'm going to try to do is... Yeah, that's a little bit of a problem, isn't it? Okay, that's a little bit of a problem. Okay, yeah, let's do it. Let's just increase it. There we go. So we now have an extra rune slot for this thing. And then I'm also going to get an extra rune slot for Whirlwind, because we might be using Whirlwind with this. It's probably going to be quite useful. Okay, so I'm going to go for the last stand of Zaladon. Ooh, no, maybe not. That doesn't sound particularly good. Look at that. 100% increased, 100% increased enemy health. Okay, so I could go for that, or I could go for Scorching Waste. That's 50% once again. I'm thinking Soul Attract range sounds pretty good for me. Thank you. We could also... we could go for the Endless mode, or we could go for this. You know what? Let's try Desecrated Ground again, because I really want to unlock that new class. I think that would be super, super fun. Ah, here we go. Yeah, so this is it. Look, look, look. Here we go. We got these Human Acolytes of Ku. Now, I don't know who these guys are, and if I want to complete this, I am going to have to reroll to try and get a Thief. As you can see, we have Lunar damage increase right here. But we are going to be going for a Savage build if I can. I can reroll infinitely, by the way, so I don't need to worry about that. But as you can see, look at this. Stargazer, absolutely amazing. Definitely recommend trying that out if you're playing the game alongside me. But we are going to be going with this. Savage Upbringing, Savage Tactics, two-handed weapons, and 50% reduced bleed rate. These are great. These are really, really great things. So we're going to try and see whether we can do this. There we go. Kill that. Okay, so we can now go for two-handed sword. And I'm actually going to be taking the two-handed sword, because what it does is an insane cleave. It has insane cleave abilities. As you can see, it just literally cleaves 100%. Bear in mind, I am still suffering from Corruption 2. I still have Corruption 2 enabled, because I want to try to power level my faction experience as much as possible. So even if I'm not able to complete this level due to there being too many, you know, too many enemies with massive amounts of HP or anything like that, because let's face it, if I'm not freezing the opponent, they're probably going to be all on top of me, and I'm probably going to be taking way too much damage. So there is that. However, Primal Roar is an option, and I'm thinking that maybe we want to go for that. It is going to cost me a lot of energy, and this is going to give me 8 energy per hit. So per enemy that I hit, I'm getting 8 energy, and it requires 100 energy to hit the Primal Roar, to activate it, which is insanely strong. So just bear that in mind. It's going to take a long time for me to get that. In comparison, Fan of Knives' energy cost 30. So yeah, we're going to be going for Primal Roar, like I said. This is going to be very, very interesting, because I can take damage, and then I can just heal myself. Whoa, it does big damage. Oh, I'm liking this. I'm liking this already. Okay, let's just be very, very careful here. I don't want to die. There we go. Okay, I healed for a very small amount. I'm not entirely sure if that's good. Oh dear. Let's reroll, let's reroll. I want to get Alacrity as fast as possible. There we go. I need attack speed. Attack speed for energy generation is extremely important in this game. Okay, I'm going to have to do a little bit of a weird thing here. I need to get... There we go. Need to get this. Thank you. Okay, so I think I might go for Incapacitate once again. And here we go. All right. So we are now starting to get sets as well. So we could potentially... Ooh, we could go for the Bandit's Vest. I think the Bandit's Vest sounds pretty good. However, the critical hit damage is calling to me quite a bit. However, I actually think the Bandit's Vest is going to be what I'm going to go for. That 7.5% increased chance to stun with primal damage might actually save our lives. So I'm going to be going with that. Gotta be careful, gotta be careful. There we go. Okay, now we can actually do something really cool here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to increase its attack reach. That's what I'm doing right now with Primal Roar. I want it... Yeah, look at that. Did you see how massive that was? You see how massive that AoE was now? Because we increased its reach by almost 40%. So just bear that in mind. That's actually insane. Now we're going to be going for, once again, Whirlwind. Quick Strike is absolutely useless in my opinion with Savage Upbringing, so Whirlwind is the way to go. So we're going to be taking that. Now, generally, I would have taken Attack Reach with the Whirlwind ability because, let's face it, Whirlwind is really quite small, the AoE area that it has. So it's kind of sad, but it's okay. So we are now going to be... we're going to be going for critical hit damage, I think. Critical hit damage with Primal Roar, because we want it to do insane damage, right? We want it to do massive, massive damage. So much damage that we cannot even keep up with how much damage it's going to do. And we're going to be taking Bandit Gloves. Yes, we're going to be taking Bandit Gloves, because look at this. Look at what it's got for us right here. This is really, really nice. Attack Reach for the Savage Braces would be amazing, as well as the damage taken reduction, but Bandit Gloves, we need to activate the set bonus. We need to get that set bonus as fast as possible. But the ability to get all of these people stunned is literally going to save our lives. It really is. It's going to make a huge, huge difference. Now, this is obviously just conjecture or theory on my part. It's not actually, it's not proven in any way. I have not tried out this build before, with the exception of trying out Savage Upbringing. I did use Primal Roar slightly. Well, actually, I didn't use Primal Roar at all, but basically, I did use Savage Upbringing a little bit, and now we are in a situation where I could potentially have some insane stuff going on, as we have this stun build with primal damage, and Primal Roar hopefully is going to be able to help us somewhat. I am actually wondering whether Whirlwind has like a reduced chance to stun or something like that, because it is indeed an AoE, but I don't know about that. I don't know. It depends. Let's just see what happens, shall we? Let's just see what happens, because I'm barely attacking, actually, because my Whirlwind is just killing everything extremely, extremely fast. Now, if I can complete Desecrated Ground, I will be overjoyed, because that will then mean that we have that extra class, that new class that we can play as, and I am very much looking forward to that, because that is a solar-based character. A solar, not lunar, but solar-based character. And I am actually very much looking forward to seeing how that goes. Alright, so we got Oathbreaker Jacob here. He is the guy that is actually the most difficult for me to eliminate. Hilariously enough, I actually think he's going to die almost instantaneously, because look at him. He's stunned, he's stunned, he's stunned, he's stunned, and he's dead. And you see exactly, that's the reason why I was saying how incredibly powerful this might actually end up being. And that's the reason why I was going for the bandit set, because it is just incredibly powerful. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to be re-rolling this. Yeah, I think this looks much better. I like this a great deal. Okay, I think I might be going with Stalker Cap +1. Yes, Stalker Cap +1. Yes, that sounds good. And we have, ooh, Frost Moon Pendant. This is my first artifact. So when an enemy afflicted with freeze dies, it shatters, launching 2 ice shards that pierce through enemies, dealing lunar damage to each target hit. Now, unfortunately, I don't actually have a... I don't have anything that does lunar damage, which is very sad, because it would have been amazing, but it's fine. You know, it's okay. You know, I completely understand that that's something that is for a different build, and this is the only artifact that I actually have available to me right now, so, you know, that's the reason. But yeah, we're okay. You know, we're doing fine. And so we are just gonna level up once again. And I am actually thinking right now that I don't want to take Blade Dash or Leap. I think I'm just gonna be going with Quick Dash. I know that sounds maybe potentially kind of dumb, but I really want that 1.5 second cooldown. Alright, so 5 seconds until the next boss, and this is actually the longest I've even gotten on this particular level, and you may be wondering, how did you lose 2 health states? Well, I lost 2 health states because I did not realize that the enemy was starting to spawn ranged characters, and as you can see, they're bombarding me consistently over and over, and well, they basically just removed so much of my health because I was just standing there basically in a stationary manner, and they got the drop on me basically, and that was pretty much it. So yeah, there's that. Anyway, we can now I think I might go for a 30% critical chance. That sounds pretty good. And yeah, that was the boss. You see exactly what I'm talking about? Stun and lunar damage with the barrier. Both of these builds in this video have been extremely good, and again, this was just theorizing on my part, at least initially, with Savage Upbringing, because I think Savage Upbringing could have the edge potentially to the lunar damage, but again, it depends, because obviously I am using a completely different weapon, right? You know, before I was using dual swords, now I'm using a two-handed sword, so it could very well be that the two-handed sword, which I wouldn't be able to use with the lunar damage build, by the way, unless I was playing with the Barbarian, because the Barbarian has Savage Upbringing as a base skill, whereas the Thief does not. So me using the Thief, maybe that made a big difference, I don't know, but all I know is that these two builds are really powerful, and I have not felt like I'm going to lose any time. Whereas you saw the hopefully you saw the previous video on this, because I tried to do Desecrated Grounds twice in that video and I failed both times, and I was thinking to myself, how am I ever going to do it? How am I ever going to complete this level? And well, this is how. You literally just get some builds that have good synergy with each other, and I'm playing on Corruption 2 as well. It's not like I'm playing on Corruption 0 or anything like that. No, I am actually playing on a relatively, you know, average level of Corruption, so it's not, you know, these guys could have much less HP. They have 100% more HP at the moment, so, you know, that's just something to bear in mind. Obviously, if you can dodge all of these projectiles, everything is much easier. And there it is, ritual complete. That was so much easier than I anticipated. Wow. And look at this. I now have the Edge of Darkness. Your primary attacks have a 10% chance to refresh or dodge charges. Each time you dodge, you throw 3 shadowy daggers that bounce between enemies, dealing lunar damage per target, which is another artifact, by the way. So if you don't want to use the Frost Moon Pendant, then you could use Edge of Darkness instead. And this all synergizes with each other. And now we have the Oathkeeper as well, which is indeed a new class, which has health regeneration and bonus health, apparently, as base skills. And, we have the Oathbringer, which is a stunning mace, and a shield. Oh, interesting. And we also have Sacred Hammer, throw 2 hammers that spin around, piercing the enemy. An aura that surrounds you that deals solar damage every 1 second to enemies inside it. We have Shield Charge, which is a movement ability. The Oathbound, which is a new faction. And there we have it. So there's the Oathbound right there. And we're going to be getting another artifact available to us at some point as well. So we can reduce our bleed duration if we want to do that. I think I will just reduce that by 15%. That sounds pretty good. And I actually wonder, can I... No, I don't have any more of these shards just yet. But I'm very much looking forward to that. And as you can see, we now got faction level 15 with the Thieves Guild. I personally really enjoy the Thieves Guild and the Thief class in general. I think it is extremely fun to play with. And yeah, I just cannot wait to play more of this game. That's the whole point. It's really so addicting, so satisfying when you actually complete levels, of course. But yeah, the builds that I've found here and that are detailed in this episode, give them a go. They are so fun. Anyway, Conquest Dark. There's a link in the description if you want to check it out. Otherwise, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.